magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast.
How about now? Are we good now? Unbelievable. Every single time. Every single time. Yeah, we got to do audio checks now from the future. There we go. Thank you very much, guys. How we all doing? It's the Saturday night live stream main event for the Transformer Slag podcast. It's amazing how this happens now. This is 2 weeks in a row now. I think this has happened. Got to check it out, yo. But thank you everyone for letting me know. My name's Proto Man. This is the face that runs this place. This is the Transformer Slag podcast, Saturday Night Live mainstream main event. We're going to talk Transformers. We're going to cover some news. We're going to talk about some interesting stuff that came in the mail, and a lot of other stuff too. And take some super chats from the fans and everything like that. Celebrating Chinese New Year. Depending on where you are in the world, certain time zones, Chinese New Year, Spring Festival, Lunar New Year, however you want to call it, depending on where you are in the world. Yeah. How we all doing? See a lot of names here. A lot of YouTube member names. Tom Laney, J.R. Mina from the Philippines, Michael Koo, Mr. Bumblebot, Lord Soundwarp, Rodimus Power, Toy Unboxing, Horned Owl. Hope I'm not missing anybody here. I see also some Patreon members too are here. Got a lot of people here today. Lord Soundwarp's asking, how do you get into the Discord? If you are a Patreon member, you just have to message me through Patreon, Lord Soundwarp. The reason why I don't activate Discord 100% for Patreon members is because I don't want to have people that sign up to do malicious things and just right away get access. You have to contact me personally through Patreon and everything works out. And then you get access to our awesome Patreon. So today we're going to talk Transformers. Got a humongous package in the mail. We're going to talk about that in a moment. That was sent by a fan. Didn't expect that this morning. Everyone saw on my Twitter. I'll talk about it later today. We have yet again another Super 7 unboxing that we're going to be doing. We've been doing one every single week. See this Super 7 product, if it is worth it to own, product to product. We're going to cover the news, and then we're going to take some super chats from the fans. And again, if you want to participate at any moment, just hit that super chat button down below and ask away or comment away at what we're going to talk about. Because today we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. Let's start with, again, we just started with Chinese New Year, and we have a Chinese New Year or Spring Festival product from China, and it is that of a box set Menasor. We talked about it early this week. It seems that the Hasbro Tmall website on China's message boards and everything is going to be having a little special where if you order during the Chinese Lunar Festival, Chinese New Year, if you order all 5 Stunticon members, the first 100 will be qualified to get it in a special box with a extremely large, judging by the size of the pin box compared to the box itself, an extremely large G1 Menasor styled pin. Very cool stuff. Very cool. Again, it'd be nice if we got box sets like this too, but when you really think about it, 4 deluxes, 1 commander class, put on some Walmart shelving, I don't know if that would survive. It would have to be very much so an online item or something. I could see honestly someone like maybe Hasbro Pulse getting a limited amount of units of these, maybe, and putting them up. give people an opportunity who are just getting, let's say, breakdown from Legacy at Evolution now and didn't get, let's say, drag strip from Wave 1 of Legacy, get those opportunities. But we'll see what happens with it. But I kind of hope that they continue this trend, because I always find that while box sets are a much more expensive way to get stuff, people usually they get limb by limb slowly throughout the year. They don't feel, how much the cost is and everything. But at the end of the day, uh, sometimes because of the distance and how much space there is between each release, sometimes people miss out. Sometimes people didn't get that drag strip, or like Dead End was in a tough wave that didn't show up in my area. So sometimes these box sets are, good for people because they get an opportunity to get everything that they might have missed. Where I mean, you look at the history of combiners throughout Transformers. Back in the day, the old combiner teams all came out in one wave, especially in Generation One. Constructicons all one wave. Any of the combiners all one wave. When they brought back combiners with Beast Wars and G2, it was everything in one wave. Sometimes all in a box set. So that was another case. And then when we get to, like, let's say Energon, when they brought back combiners, then that was the first time that they didn't put it all in one wave. Yet you were able to buy two limbs, maybe the centerpiece, which was a deluxe at the time, and then you had to wait a wave or two before the other two limbs came out. It wasn't exactly the best method, but that's probably the only way they were able to put out that many product, because a lot of them were the same molds and they didn't want to have the same mold over and over on the shelves all at the same time. It was a difficult thing. I mean, we all know the history of that. Same thing with combiner wars and stuff. So this is something that is available, that is out there. Again, if you have a Chinese buyer proxy, that might be the only way you're able to engage with this and do that. But we will see what happens in the future. We might get an opportunity on this side of the globe also to do something like that too. Also, Media Max, thank you for joining the Elite Guard of the YouTube membership. So that's it more or less with that. I mean, I kind of hope that they do other ones when we do get more combiners. I mean, already when we really think about combiners right now in Transformers, the only other one that really comes to mind is we're almost done Raiden through the Masterpiece combiners. And will they do a box set with them? I know that there's been a lot of talk within the Takara Tomy designers that they definitely want to do repaints of some of those molds into some Diaclone characters and stuff. Maybe Dr. Yellow being the most obvious of the bunch, which was now presented to us as a female character from those molds. So we'll see what happens. But it is an interesting discussion for the future, because combiners are a big part of Transformers, and people are always curious to see where we go from there with those. Next up, let's talk about Battle Trap. We got to see some in-package images, and the big thing to take away from the in-package images is more so the packaging itself. So we got to see his head crest with the Decepticon logo on there, despite him being advertised as a Terracon, even with the Terracon logo on the front of the packaging. We have the Attack at the Museum backdrop there, which we've already seen in the trailer. So SS99 Studio Series. This guy is going to be showing up April 1st, might break some street dates. Pre-orders are already up on Hasbro Pulse at the current MSRP for Voyager classes. Just wanted to just talk about it quickly, just because we got to see some art, and some art is cool. It's always cool to see new art. Speaking of new art, let's talk about all this new art that we got to see, all this different control art and control stock art that was put out there for future Transformers Rise of the Beast t-shirts. So this is art that we're probably going to see everywhere. A lot of this is going to be on toy packaging. A lot of this is going to be on notebooks, mugs, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. This is the typical control art that is plastered all over the place. I'm pretty sure that during the month of June and July, you could probably go into a Walmart and go into every single section, and every single section will probably have that Bumblebee or Optimus or Cheetor art on something, whether it be a mug, whether it be a t-shirt, whether it be a notebook for school or a pencil case. I'm pretty sure that's going to be all over. Maybe even go in the magazine section, there'll be something. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of that for sure. But again, what's cool about it is we get a good look at RC. I did an individual segment about this. Be sure to check it out in the backlog of the podcast where I talk about this. It's pretty cool. especially the RC art. It's cool that they kind of show that she has like transformable feet and she could have the roller feet or the regular feet. Nice little throwback to her old design from the earlier Michael Bay days. I mean, I like what I see. Looks really cool. Hopefully, we get some more art in the future, and maybe it'll be give us a better indication of what's going on with all the product there. Now, let's talk about some crossover stuff with G.I. Joe. This was a rumor that then kind of was confirmed by the man himself. I did an individual segment breaking this down if you want to learn more about the history of this man here on the bottom left. But Sergeant Slaughter recently did a convention and he accidentally, and he's done this before, so it's not the first time he's done this, he accidentally kind of revealed stuff that he is currently working on that will be coming out. Sergeant Slaughter has signed a multi-year contract with Hasbro to do multiple products using his name and IP. And one of those items that he accidentally said during a convention was that he's working on a Transformers crossover using the Triple T and his original O-ring. So I guess that's probably what's going to be the next Trooper. So Trooper 3, because the rumor was that Trooper 4 was the Thunder Machine with Soundwave, and of course the dreadnoughts of Zartan and Zarana and Ravage. So I guess Trooper 3 is probably going to be the Triple T. Kind of makes sense, even with the numbering. Triple T is again a very iconic GI Joe vehicle. It was how most people were able to get their Sergeant Slaughter figure, the black tank top version, which is associated with the cartoon and stuff, as opposed to the original Mailway, which predates it by a year. So if you're a GI Joe fan, this is pretty exciting news. And again, Sergeant Slaughter, who's the in real life hero and WWE, WWF superstar, it's kind of crazy when you think about it. It's like, okay, so Transformers is part of the GI Joe world, but because Sergeant Slaughter is part of this too, that means WWE is also part of the Transformer world. So that means John Cena also exists in the Transformer world, separate from the character of John Cena in the Bumblebee movie. What a world we live in. What a world. I wonder if Transformers Prime Cliffjumper will ever meet The Rock and wonder if their voices sound similar. So, anyways, this is something that is happening and it will be coming at some point. We don't have a price, we don't have a release date, we don't have it even officially acknowledged or confirmed. It's just something that Sergeant Slaughter said in a panel, and he's done this in the past. We learned about the Classifieds GI Joe figure Sergeant Slaughter from him mentioning it in an interview. I think like a month before it was officially revealed in a Hasbro Pulse segment. So we'll see what happens, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of other Transformer crossover stuff, there was also this that was recently shown. So, Renegade Games, I've worked with them in the past many times on Transformer card games and stuff like that. And Renegade Games has a live stream that is going to be coming February 4th at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, where they're going to talk about all the brand new Transformer and G.I. Joe products with the card games and tabletop stuff and miniatures. But this came out a little early. This comes courtesy of Game Nerds. They showed the next expansion for the Transformers TCG, but it actually is a Transformers G.I. Joe crossover. So the thing with this one is they have the Transformer deck building game and they have the G.I. Joe deck building game. This one leans more into you have to own, and it says in the bottom right there, required, you have to own the G.I. Joe deck building game, and then you could buy this Transformer expansion, the New Alliances, and you could continue playing with that. So that's something that just leaked out recently. We don't have an announcement of when this is coming out. I'm pretty sure we're going to have all the information February 4th during the Renegade Games live stream, but there is going to be yet again another Transformer G.I. Joe crossover, and we'll see what happens with that, shall we? Not much more I could really say because I kind of work with these guys on stuff, but this is something that is public. And like I always say, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. All you could do is acknowledge the genie. So I'm acknowledging the genie. And speaking of weird things, let's talk about Transformer Koosh for a moment. The company of Koosh is the Koosh brand, if you will, is going to be putting out more movie related or pop culture related Koosh balls. They already did their Jurassic Park ones with Blue and the T-Rex. They did some Star Wars Mandalorian ones with the Mando and Grogu. And now they're going to be doing Transformer ones in that evergreen style with Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. We got a super chat by Ibrahim Pomares. He says, "Hey Proto, do you think the GI Joe Havoc could work for Optimus for GI Joe crossover? Seems like the vehicle could work as his alt mode." The one that I've always seen that people always suggest, and it was a Don Figueroa suggestion. Don Figueroa was the guy who pioneered the War Within designs and all that great Hasbro stuff during the Dreamwave days. And he was the mastermind behind the Titaniums line of Transformers for many years. Don Figueroa made this really great art of Optimus Prime as the Rolling Thunder. And the Rolling Thunder is a very Optimus Prime kind of vehicle. It's this, very truck-like with missiles on the back that kind of look like his exhausts like a truck. It worked so well. And I know there was a third party company out there that even tried to make an attempt at doing the Rolling Thunder Optimus Prime, and it was kind of hit or miss. These were the early days of third party. So I always kind of associated with the Rolling Thunder. I know that Devil's Due back in the day, they did an Optimus Prime his tank. So there's different interpretations. The Havoc I could see a little bit, I guess. I mean, some people were saying the GI Joe mobile what's it called, the mobile armor command, the that big GI Joe play set there that was like like a beige. I think it's called the mobile armor command. Where's David Cabal? He'd be able to help me out here. That's another one too because it kind of has this like pulling a trailer that transforms into like a roller play set. So it's something that the way I see it is there's already been a few good suggestions. There you go. TFC made the Rolling Thunder. There you go. Yeah, like so it's something where I could see Rolling Thunder, I could see the Mobile Armor Command because those are very Optimus Prime ones. But at the same time, they're also very big play sets. And when you're talking something, and that's one thing that you have to consider, considering they're always including a O-ring with all of these, meaning something that has to scale and fit in the cockpit. That's where it's going to right away put a limitation on some of the designs. You're not going to see a USS Flag. You're not going to see some of the bigger vehicles like a Defiant or something. And I mean, they could do a Defiant. It would just cost you thousands of dollars because the Defiant is absolutely massive, and so is the USS Flag. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We will see what happens. But thanks for the super chat question, Ibrahim. Thank you. And again, it's always cool to talk about. I mean, I'm still waiting on my Dusty Sandstorm crossover. That's the one I'm looking for because Dusty's always been my favorite GI Joe character, and even though I'm not the biggest fan of Sandstorm, I just think he would probably be the most appropriate to like do something like find some kind of like Dune Buggy, Tiger Force kind of thing, and because Dusty was part of Tiger Force at one point, and just like give the Sandstorm name on it, and the rest is history. Two obscure B-lister characters. As much as I love Dusty, he's more of the B list. Put them in. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm just glad he got his classifieds figure. That made me happy. USS Flag for Fort Max. Nah, it's got to be broadside, bruh. It's got to be broadside. But or tidal wave. But yeah, getting back to the Koosh, and again, thank you, Abraham, for the super chat question. So we got these two Kooshes. We don't know the prices for these or release dates, but based on the previous ones they've done here of Jurassic Park and Star Wars, probably $14.99 according to Amazon because that's what those go for. Prince and Phalanx 59 with the 17-month YouTube member question. Proto, you got another HasLab Unicron. I don't know, to be honest. I'm going to get into that later today. I have the box sealed next to me right here. I'll get into that when we're done the news today. It's quite bizarre. I'll say that much. But yeah, Koosh, a lot of Koosh happening. So if you are interested in these, they're probably going to be $14.99. Probably. Speaking of licensed Transformer stuff, there's also Jada Toys or Jada Diecast. This was found in a Target in Arizona. It seems that Jada is still continuing with the Transformer diecast and Transformer license, not just the Micro Machine guys, but these guys too. And they have here a Nemesis Prime that they put out, which is a straight up repaint of their Optimus Prime that they put out a couple of years ago. So, hey, black repaint, sure. Alrighty. I mean, I just hope that it looks nice. The Optimus one, it looks really cool. I have a thing for die-cast. I like really good die-cast, high quality stuff. I don't have the Optimus. I have some of their more micro, nano Hollywood rides kind of stuff. I have all of those, but I don't have this large 1x24 scale Optimus. But it looks really cool, and if I could get it cheap, I probably would pick it up. To be honest, um, I mean, I dig it. I dig it. I have a lot of other Jada stuff. I have a lot of other Jada stuff that's huge die cast stuff. Like their initial D line that they did many years ago, I picked up all of that. And it's really good stuff. They're really good. So, chrome, rubber wheels, has the Autobot transformation on the bottom and everything. So in this case, Nemesis Prime Decepticon. Check it out. It's out there right now. And like I said in my individual segment about this, kudos to Jada for not raising the MSRP. When they released that original Optimus 3.5 years ago, it was $24.99. In a post-inflation world today in 2023, this one here is still $24.99. Now you could argue, well, Proto, I mean, they didn't have to do much investing in R&D because it's just a straight up repaint. That is true. I will give you that. It is true. They didn't really have to do much, just that new art and packaging and everything and some new paint. But at the same time, they didn't raise the price on die-cast or anything, so that's pretty good of them. Kudos to them. Pretty good. It says here, Michael Koo says, Jada Nemesis Prime is available on Target for $41.99. That can't be right. $41.99. I have $24.99 here, so that's what I got. That's what people have been picking it up, so we'll see what happens. That's crazy. $41.99. That's ridiculous if that's true. Can be used with MP10 trailer. So 1x44, 1x24 scale is about the size of an alternators. So I would say yes to a degree. I would say yes. I have not tested that personally. I have MP10's trailer. I have MP01's trailer. I don't have the newest MP 3.0, so I can't confirm that one. But I mean, when you think about the scale, I'd say yes, because especially MPO1, that was definitely alternator scale. So I'm going to say yes, but I can't confirm it. I really can't. Unfortunately, I don't own it, so I can't tell you. But I'm going to take a guess, at least in terms of size. So yeah, that's it more or less for the news. I just want to just cover some sponsorship stuff. We'll cover some stuff that we got in the mail and the very weird thing that we got going on here. And then we'll take some super chats from the fans. You could start submitting them now and we'll jump into that. So, first, with our sponsors, of course, Symbiote Studios. Symbiote Studios is going to be at TFCon in a month and a half from now in March. So be sure to swing by Symbiote Studios booth when they will be at TFCon. But Symbiote Studios, the official Transformer plush pins and t-shirts. No one does it better. SymbioteStudios.com. Check them out, especially their pin collection. I'm wearing the Optimus today and, of course, the Optimus t-shirt. So check them out. And of course, their plush series, the ongoing Transformer plush series, along with their brand new restock and upgrades that they've put out. What up, Aaron? So be sure to check that out. Aaron always comes in right when I'm doing the sponsorships, always just in time. But yeah, check those out. And again, their brand new collection. Reminder once again, they will be at TFCon LA in March. So if you're interested in checking out this product in person, seeing how big and awesome the quality is and everything like that, be sure to go to TFCon in LA and check it out for Symbiote Studios. They're going to have a nice big booth there with all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, and then next up, also on top of Symbiote Studios with all their other plush and everything, we're going to talk about And Seats. Again, And Seats is the sponsor for our seats and how we sit here in the podcast. They sent us this nice little image to put in the background too. And Seats, this is going to be part of their collection. Obviously, we're going to have more going into 2023. They plan to have brand new stuff to reveal for the summer and spring season right now. And Seats, which is a company based in South Korea, is also going through their version of Chinese New Year again, Lunar New Year, Spring Festival, and everything like that. So they are just going to be going through that quiet time, and when that is all over, we will have some brand new reveals from them. So be sure to check And Deceits out. And again, if you want, we have a promo code for you guys. Use promo code ProtoMan and get 15% off your first order to have Optimus Prime supporting your lower lumbar back support and your neck. AndDeceits.com. Thank you for being a sponsor of Transformers Slag Podcast and Deceits, and for providing us with a extremely comfortable chair for a guy that never had an extremely comfortable chair ever for his computer all his life. So pretty cool stuff. And last but not least, let's talk about the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Latest episode is out. Be sure to check it if you haven't already. We talk about Transformers Trans Tech and just the whole history of it. Why it happened, why it didn't happen, why stuff doesn't happen, all the little prototypes and art and everything. Who was Draxhall Jump? What was all these designs? Why didn't it get done? A nice little segment with me and Aaron Archer where we talk about it. Again, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Also, Aaron recently just did a live stream yesterday talking about some cool Batman toys and all kinds of line art, a bunch of stuff I've never seen before, and I do deep research on this stuff. So a bunch of cool design art and line art that Aaron showed, a yellow Batmobile with taxi cab, everything. Go check it out after you're done listening to me today. Go check out the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Listen to this Transformer Trans Tech segment, and then check out on the live tab his live segment that he did last night. Good stuff, yo. And if you want more Aaron Archer, he's not going to be at TFCon LA, but you could still get his art book, The Art of Transforming Robots, Volume 1, Black and White Edition, all for 20 bones on archermonster.com/shop, or just go to archermonster.com and check out all the other stuff. He has paintings, he has all kinds of really good stuff on there that you could pick up from the man who was behind the Unicron trilogy and beyond. Did some Beast Wars stuff too. Did a little bit of everything from the Transformer world. So be sure to check that out. The quintessential man of Transformers, Aaron Archer. Again, archermonster.com/shop. Be sure to check it out. And of course, pay $15 more. You get a little custom sketch on the inside of the book of anything you want. You want Tidal Wave, you want Bumblebee, you want the man Hot Rod. He'll draw it on the inside too. Check it out. Again, archermonster.com. That's it more or less for our sponsors. So again, be sure to check them out. And of course, Hasbro Pulse themselves. So gonna get some water in me. So, because we got a big one here today. Giggity. Oh, we got a big one. So I went to my P.O. box today. Shout out to David. David was like, "Hey, Proto Man, I sent you something in the mail." Oh, I missed a super chat here. Sorry. Timmy K. Poindexter Jr. Esquire the Third. Getting any Chinese cuisine for the Chinese New Year proto? Tomorrow I will be. Today was a very busy day. It's my shopping day. Tomorrow I'm waking up extremely early, going to my favorite place to get all my Asian food, which is called Ling Tai. And gonna be, I don't know what I'm gonna get, but I'm gonna get a lot of stuff. Let's put it that way. I'm gonna be celebrating the Chinese New Year quite a bit tomorrow. But thank you for asking, Timmy K. Poindexter Esquire III. So went to my PO box today because a buddy of mine, David, sent something and it wasn't there, but I went to go check it out anyways. And when I went to go check it out, the woman at the PO box was like, "There's a ridiculously huge package here waiting for you. We were going to email you to let you know, but we never got around to it." And I was like, "Oh, that's weird," because usually I would get a message for it. And she brought me the box. Couldn't even fit through the double doors that they have in the back. And I recognized that box. I took a photo here to show you guys after I picked it up, and I posted it on Twitter for people that saw. I recognize that box. That's the box that HasLab Unicron came in. And I was like, "What is this?" Now, I do stuff with Hasbro all the time. They send me stuff all the time, but I wasn't expecting a HasLab Unicron. So I messaged out wondering who sent this, first of all, because it's definitely the HasLab Unicron box. This angle doesn't show it, but if you have a HasLab Unicron, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I know how big that box is and how much of a washing machine it is. And I messaged out on Twitter and I got a response, and oh, it was someone that I knew. they sent something in the HasLab Unicron box. So that's what that was about. I have it here today. I wanted to put it behind me, but again, there's just no space. It would not fit here. It's just too big, you know. So I have it here today. I have not opened it. Um, actually, I don't know if the individual even wants to be named. If you're in the chat, if he's going to say yes, then we'll know who it is. I don't know if they want to be named. I always want to be careful with that. Some people, they like to send stuff and they don't like to be named and stuff. They just want to send things and say that they like what I do. Um, if you're in the chat, just say so, and I'll gladly give you the shout out. So they want me to open it on the stream. I trust this individual, so I know it's not a bomb or something stupid. At least I hope it's not. They've been a long time patron for 4 years now. Very good dude. So I'm gonna be opening it up right now live. I wish I could give you guys a better angle. It's just it's a huge box. Um, but yeah. So 1 second here. Just give me a moment. Okay. I wish I could show you guys on camera. It's too big. It's too big. Okay, so it's definitely so anyone who knows how the Unicron box is, I opened it up and then there is the Unicron box in there. And there's a letter too. Hold on. So it says here, oh, it has his name. Hold on, I want to make sure you guys maybe don't see it. So it says here, hey, Proto Man, just wanted to send you something really special for the new year. Hope it arrives around the time so you could open it on the podcast. To celebrate the big year, we celebrate it with the biggest Transformer I sent you, Unicron. I hope you enjoy it. You're amazing and keep up the super radical work. And I'm not going to say his name, but it's covered. Why'd you send me Unicron, man? That's really expensive. I have one. No offense. No offense, but why would be good to your wallet? Why would you do that? Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh, he's trolling me, isn't he? Is he trolling me? See, everyone. I'm gonna open it. Hold on a second. 1 sec. One moment. Stupid. Oh God, these stupid wide panels. Mother. Oh, he sent Unicron. To be fair, to be fair, to be fair, the Funko was based off of the HasLab design, so he's halfway there. Oh my God, guys, stop! Stop! Oh, where am I gonna put this damn thing? This thing takes like the space of like 3 liter class toys. The fact that you took the time to ship your HasLab Unicron box in the other HasLab Unicron box, pay the shipping. You know, Mikey and Louie, this is your fault. You started this. You started this garbage. You started this garbage, man. I have you guys can't see it. 1, 2, 3. I have 4 Funko Transformers now because of you people. Now it's 5. Oh God. Oh. Well, thank you. Now I almost want to say your name. Well, thank you, M. That's all I'll say. Thank you, M. Unless you're in the chat, did I miss something? I don't think I did. Oh God. How big this? Look how big this is. Look, where's I need a big box product. I don't have anything nearby that's big box though, unfortunately. Like, let me give you an example, right? So here's Masterpiece Lio Convoy. Okay, Masterpiece Lio Convoy. It looks like nothing next to it. Funko, stop. There's gonna be landfills in the future, ET style, because of you guys. Oy, ay, 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 ay. Anyways, I appreciate the jester. A jester. I'm losing my train of thought and the ability to speak. I appreciate the gesture, but please don't. Please, people, don't send Funko Pops. Please, I'm dead serious. And I've said this before. You want to send me a Funko Pop? Put all your money together. Get me that physical NFT hot rod Funko Pop. Get me that one. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's the only one I ever want to see in my life. You know, come on. That's the only one. I don't want an NFT. I just want the physical Funko of that, and then I could never have a Funko again. Man, oh man. The fact that they went through the trouble to ship their HasLab Unicron. You know what? I'm going to use the HasLab Unicron box for storage now. That's the one good thing, at least, because that's a pretty good corrugated box. You know? How did I not know? The weight should have given it away. The weight of it, picking it up, should have given it away. That woman behind the counter picked it up like nothing. Anyways, you could sell the box. Then you have to ship the box. You know how big the box. The box is taking half of the size of my room. This thing is like, it's huge. It's the size of a washing machine, that box. That's why, like, just to fit it in here. That's why I couldn't do the shot for you guys, because it's like, anyways. Anyways, other stuff that we got in the mail recently. Uh, other stuff we got in the mail. Um, recently got picked this up. I never had my own copy of it, the Vinyl Tech book. So I finally got that too. Figured I'd use it in the future for different kinds of stuff I want to. It's never been scanned or anything either. There's no online version of it, so it's something that maybe in the future, maybe some patrons and stuff like that will get access to this very old retired book, the history of vinyl tech and everything. It's a really good car book if you're a car guy in Transformers. And the second half of it is all G1 reissues. It's a really good book. Really dig it. I know Aaron Archer has a copy in his archive. I just never had one in mine. Never picked it up. And then I found it on the cheap through Mandarake. Picked it up for less than $10. So, good stuff. Good stuff. So picked that up in the mail. That came also. And yeah. But it is what it is. But it is what it is. So yeah. So let's crack open a new Super 7. We'll take some super chats from the fans. And how much time we got left? We got a good hour and 10 minutes left, and we'll just enjoy the rest of the evening. Oh, totally, Aaron. The thing is with a part two is I don't know if I want to like go about it a different way. We got a few things we got to actually discuss for future segments because there's a few non-transformer stuff we have to talk about too. This guy, man. This guy. Oh, anyways, almost should frame that letter, the ultimate troll. Okay, so we're doing week number 3 of Super 7 with their reaction ultimates, their Transformers Ultimates line. Uh, these went on super clearance a couple weeks ago, and I picked them up because they were $15 a piece instead of 55 to 60. So I figured we'd open them all up, check them all out live on the stream, and give our opinions. This is now one of the weaker ones of the bunch. Probably this is the Ghost of Starscream. So while I'm taking the super chat questions and everything, we will be cracking open yet again another Super 7 product. and taking some questions and some other stuff. Let's look at some green chats for now. That's crazy. Bumblebot says, I blame the Discord from the Unicron. This individual is actually on our Discord, yeah. So yeah, maybe that's a possibility. Michael Koo says, don't troll Protoman too much. Protoman has an NDA agreement with all the goodies about Rise of the Beast. More on that later. I can't talk about it now, but let's just say you'll be seeing my name in some stuff in the next couple of weeks. Let's put it that way in the news. That's all I'm going to say. Um, let's see, Ward Sound Warp. Was it your MF? I have no idea what MF is unless it stands for something that could get me flagged on YouTube. Prince of Phalanx 59, you should come up with a Funko ideas for Protoman. He has a good collection started. We need to fill it out more. Please don't. Funkos, I find, are such a waste of space. They're such a waste of space. It's ridiculous. I do not want more Funkos. They're, if you're gonna spend, I mean, what's the what? How much does a Funko cost? Like $20 now for like the basic. If you're gonna spend $20, keep your money, man. Keep your money. Keep your money. So today is Ghost of Starscream. Nice little screenshot from the episode of the same name, The Ghost of Starscream, or the other episode, which was Ghost in the Machine, both season 3 episodes of Transformers. I like Ghost of in the Machine a little more because that was the Octane episode. And it's gonna be the Unicron episode where he had to strike a deal with Unicron, but he has the little sparkles there from the little star. And then again, here's the big reveal. Oh, very nice. Oh, look how sparkly he is. Should be a Twilight vampire. He's so sparkly. What an interesting, that's like a My Little Pony sparkle almost. Well, looks nice. Let's just see. Where did I put my X-Acto? Did I throw it in a fit of rage because of everything? In the meantime, we'll take some questions. JR Mina with the smiley face, Lord Soundwarp. No, just the name of someone in the chat. No, it's not that individual, that's for sure. Mr. Falcon. No, that's not the person who sent it. I don't think the person is actually in the chat because I have not seen their name in any of the the messages here, and I believe they also have a green name too. They're a YouTube member, so it would have popped up and I would have noticed it. Horned Owl, Sparkle Starscream. He fits right in with My Little Pony. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's got that like My Little Pony kind of plastic to it. Michael Gu, come on, the Beast Wars episode Possession got the best Starscream Ghost. It's the best Starscream Ghost episode, but it's mostly a Waspinator appearance, if anything. Either a Flash if you'll miss it, Starscream model. Oh, there goes all the accessories. Ugh. Or the back of Starscream getting killed by Unicron. So there's everything you get there. Obviously the hand fell out, but so you get his toy accurate head there, the sparkly body, and a bunch of translucent hands and everything like that. What's interesting is like you could barely tell because of how shallow the surface is, but that's his smirk face and that's his toy. And with smirk face and regular face, it's almost the same. But sure. It's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. Let's try to pop him out of here without breaking him. The one thing I'll give Super 7 credit is they really pack him in good. Looks like the wings here are on ball joints, so I guess that's for good articulation. You get so, oh my god, that new toy smell is ridiculous from the factory. All that glue and paint. Look how sparkly that is. Look at that. So I have a few translucent Starscreams. I have the classics one that they did. It was a magazine exclusive from the Henkei line back in the day. I have the PVC one that they did. It was a chase figure. I don't have the original G1 one. I believe that was an eHobby exclusive, but I'll probably do a photo shoot with what I do have at my disposal of sparkly Starscreams. Again, you know, let's put it this way. Uh, we have something similar through the RED line through Hasbro, and it's slightly cheaper. I mean, obviously, this is a little taller. These are 7 to 8 inches tall, and they come with a bunch of other extra accessories. Obviously, a Megatron with a gun in gun mode probably would have been a given, but since this is Ghost Starscream, it's a different story. Again, I'm totally cool with $15 for this, but I can't imagine, people spending, $55 on this one. Not really feeling it. I mean, it's especially, it's clear plastic, so you could really just feel how, like, the kind of plastisol they use to achieve that and the little sparkles. I don't know. I do not know. Let me get that toy accurate head, put that on. Maybe it'll make it look nicer. Let's see, Lord Sound Warp. I got my Magic Square reflector, and it fits perfectly with all the Chug displays because they are small enough to fit with the cartoon. Good old reflector. And then Lord Sound Warp says paid £5 for it on Show Z. Oh, talking about I was about to say this paid £5. Wow. So let's put on the toy accurate head sculpt, which also I like to associate with the Marvel comics because kind of had that head sculpt for the longest time. So that could be in a lot of ways, this could be your Marvel comics Starscream, if anything. I don't know. Eh, eh, eh. $15, sure. Anything more than that, I do not think so. No, no, no. Little null rays come off, could be put in the fists, so it could kind of be like that one episode where, oh, I think it was Skywarp originally was the first one that was holding the null rays as a gun. But yeah, well, actually the Rainmakers too, technically when they did the flamethrower. Uh, Prince of Phalanx 59 Proto, will there be more new Transformer reveals this week? Well, by this week you mean starting Monday? Yes, there will be. There is quite a few stuff that is on message boards on the other side of the globe that I'm shocked were not revealed this week. There's two individuals in the Transformer fandom in the West that seem to be the ones that always pull the trigger on that. Um, I don't really want to name their names because in all honesty, I don't really like that they're doing it, but someone's got to do it sooner or later and get the clout. And it's not going to be me because I respect the individuals at Hasbro too much and rather they get the opportunity to reveal stuff. But there will be Rise of the Beast stuff revealed officially through Hasbro coming up shortly. Stay tuned for that. But I can't give a date exactly because I am signed to an NDA and I cannot talk about it. But that will be coming, and it will be Rise of the Beast related. It won't be Legacy, it won't be stuff like that. It will be an acknowledgement of Rise of the Beasts. That's all I could say really about that. Lord Soundwarp, would love to see a cosmic empowered Starscream figure. That would be cool. I would like to see like an underbase Starscream figure. That's what I kind of did. Like, many years back, they did MP3 Starscream, which was the first masterpiece. And it came with that like weird color scheme that was more realistic. Kawamori, who was the guy who did Macross and stuff, he helped with the colors and the design of that one. That's kind of like my underbase Starscream. I kind of like have it as that because then you got the normal color Starscream and stuff. So in my masterpiece collection, he's kind of like this, kind of like like a god, just like underbase Starscream. So that's probably the closest we've ever got to a cool underbase Starscream is maybe that one with those cool colors. But even then, even then. But we will see. We will see what happens with Rise of the Beast stuff. That will be happening shortly. So just stay tuned for that. I just hope that the leaks don't get out first. That's my one concern because there is quite a few product that people have not seen yet that is on those message boards right now, and it's just a matter of time before certain websites or message boards want to put it for the for the attention. So we'll see what happens with that, and then I'll report it then. Because, like I always say, when the genie's out of the bottle, there's nothing I could do at that point. Then at that point, the best I could do is report it and give you my 2 cents and everything like that. But yeah, not feeling this one. Not feeling this one. Definitely not $55. Definitely not $55. Definitely not. Has an ab crunch though, so that's something. That's definitely something. Any other super chats in the meantime? I do have. I want to also cover this. Also, I got a message. I have it on my other screen here. Shout out to Jesus Prime. His birthday is tomorrow, although depending on where you are in the world, it'd be considered today. Jesus Prime, his birthday is tomorrow, January 22nd, and Jesus Prime just wants to get a Patreon listener question shout out and birthday shout out here on the live stream. So I'm just going to read his thing here from Jesus Prime. Hey, Proto Man, thank you for being awesome in the Transformer community, all you have created. I know myself, I can't always contribute that much, but I try to do my best. I'm happy to be part of this community and everything you have created. This is an incredible podcast, which is the best place to learn about Transformers. Well, I hope that's the case. I really do. I try to educate people as much as I can. My Patreon listener question, which I would like if you read on the live stream, is there something that you've always wanted to talk about related to Transformers that you never got an opportunity to talk about here on the podcast for one reason or another, or people just have not asked it yet as a Patreon listener question? You are awesome. Keep up the great work, Jesus Prime. Thank you, Jesus Prime. And again, happy birthday. Although tomorrow, just watch this tomorrow, and then it'll be happy birthday. Um, in all honesty, like I created this podcast because I wanted to talk about stuff that people don't normally talk about. Um, Finance in the Transformer world, money in the Transformer world, the ups and downs of value of product, trademarking, how products are decided, all those all those inside baseball things that just every other podcast just and again, I never want to insult any of the other podcasts. Guys like Brian Kilby and all those dudes are literally the Neil Armstrongs of not just Transformer podcasts but podcasts in general. But they were just not doing what I thought people should be talking about that no one else has talked about. And everything that I saw from other podcasts were very surface level. It was just really, here's what I think about the toy, and it kind of ends there. There's never really trying to understand, oh, there's no paint apps on this. This is terrible. Why don't you try to talk about and understand why there's only 2 paint hits on this, the budget, the price point, and the deeper level of stuff, stickers, decos, tempographs, sprues, tooling, molds, all those things that help people understand why decisions get made. Otherwise, you're just an angry person at an angry product. Look, I understand why this is $55. You know, Super 7 has to pay the license, they got to do the tooling, they got to pay for it. It's it's high quality plastic. It smells good. It's getting me a little high. Um, but in my opinion, it's not worth it. Primarily just because of what you could do with that money, and that's the finance aspect of the podcast, where I feel that always try to get the best bang for your buck. Money is finite. I always say money is finite. People always think, oh, you could get money is unlimited, but we get money using our time, and time is finite, and as a result, money is finite, and as a result, be smart with your money because you're being smart with your time. And certain things I feel, I mean, when you really think about it, there's Siege Starscreams, Earthrise Starscreams that you could buy for cheaper than $55. And you would get a much better experience, in my opinion, as a Transformer fan. So it's just that I always want people to be good with their money. I hate it when I see people in the fandom that are on hard times and that they can't afford to be a part of this hobby or to engage with it. And sometimes, when they're not able to buy toys anymore, they don't want to consume the media, they don't want to read the comics. And I don't ever want to see them in that kind of situation. And usually a lot of times that happens because of bad financial decisions or spending more than they need to. And I don't want them to do that. I want them to be smart with their money. I have patrons that contact me and they apologize. They go, look, I can't do the Patreon this month. I have some expenses I need to cover. And I'm totally cool with it. The last thing I want is someone who's going to be part of my Patreon that $4 or $5 will destroy them a month. Go take care of your family. Go do your thing, man. I totally respect and understand that, you know? Media Max says here, Protomang, I just got core class Ratchet. Woo, modern engineering is nuts. You referring to this guy here? I got him too very recently, thanks to Mikey and Louie. I have not done a photo shoot yet, but I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I want to maybe get all the small ratchets together and do a nice little photo shoot. I love the two little guns. Oh, jeez. I love the two little guns that he has. That's really cool. Nice little design. And totally, we're going to see a Ironhide from this one day. Mini Ironhide. Really cool and kind of funny that you got that one too. I have it nearby because I recently got it in the mail. But yeah, I just want people to always be smart with their money. It's it's kind of nuts how bad things are, and I mean, in my opinion, I feel like there might be another recession coming up. Just looking at how things are right now in the financial world and speculation, and so I feel like another recession is coming, and I want people to just be smart with their money. Be smart with their money, be careful with their money, and take care of yourselves. That's the most important thing. And those are topics that are never discussed uh on other platforms that talk about Transformers, you know? And it's always spend, 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 consume, consume, consume. It's never about reflection. You know, why you don't need to buy this product because they might make something better. Why you might not to buy this product because they might make something better. You know how many people were spending $80 to $100 on this guy at one point, and then, yo, hold my beer, you know, came around. It's it's crazy. You got to be really smart with it. No one has a crystal ball. We can't predict everything, but you got to do that, you know? Media Max Protomang is the Bumblebee movie and the Rise of the Beast movie a separate continuity. Why would I answer that? Stay tuned. That's all I'm going to say, Media Max. Stay tuned. Ron Diaz says, "Yo, how you doing, Ron? How you doing, Ron?" um, but it's just you got to always be careful with that. It's, I mean, as someone who owns, you could barely see her. Gosh, you could barely see her in the shot. Minerva. But as someone who owns the original Minerva, very expensive figure, you know, I wanted a Minerva figure to be available for people to, engage with that character and not have to break the bank in order to have a Minerva figure. And people would argue, why would you want that? Then it's going to ruin the value of your Minerva. I don't care. I'm not selling my Minerva. I'm not thinking about that. It's not my concern. I just want people to be able to engage with that product and be able to enjoy it, because with Transformer fans, and we're very unique compared to other fandoms in that, we're always trying to pursue the best version of that character. The second we get like that best version of Cheetor or Tigatron or something, uh, all those past ones kind of just wash away. Where a lot of other hobbies might not be the case. A lot of them they'll hold on to those older figures and stuff like that. And I'm one of those cases. I hold on to everything. I mean, look around me. Like it's every Transformer toy ever made practically is here. Almost, almost, except for some few oddities here and there. But it's just it's something where most Transformer fans are pretty satisfied with, let's say, a Kingdom Tigatron or a Masterpiece Tigatron and never getting the reissue or the original or something like that. Bumblebot with the question, can wait for the UK Toy Fair this week for Rise of the Beast Baby. The UK Toy Fair historically in the past has shown some toy stuff, but usually in closed doors. We usually never got the images. They'll do closed door previews for retailers. You'll have third party licensor companies that'll be there, so you'll probably see more control art, if anything. But I don't think historically in the past we've had, unless that was the Nürburgring one in Germany. Trying to remember, but usually like the big reveals are New York, Japan, Wonder Festival. Horned Owl Thrilling 30 Perceptor was amazing. The one with the Arctic Research Vehicle alt mode, such a perfect vehicle alt mode for him. Well, it was definitely unique, that's for sure. And they definitely got plenty of repaints out of it with the Magnificus. Lord Sound Warp, the Birmingham one, Mr. Bumblebee. I think that's what he meant too. Yeah, I think Birmingham. Because I'm thinking Nuremberg. They also did a German one too. Abraham, yes, always upgrading. Well, that's always the goal. That's why I look at something like the Tigatron and go, where do you go from here? Some of them. Prince of Phalanx 59 just got the Lio Convoy, great figure. I'm looking forward to that one. Even as someone who owns the original and even the masterpiece, um, I'm really looking forward to seeing the comparisons from a design standpoint with that one and all the repaints that will be from that one too. Ron Diaz with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Ron Diaz, for the gold $10 super chat. Thank you once again. If you want to be like Ron, be sure to hit that super chat button. Ron Diaz with the $10 super chat. Started collecting with Siege Ironhide, which that's talk about starting with something that has some value. Starting with Siege Ironhide, which I love. I think these modern toys are amazing and beautiful. Why do fans complain so much about new toys? Fandoms. There's, I mean, I don't want to get into the psyche of unhappy individuals that take it out on the things they love. That's a whole other discussion. But I think the only thing that I could really say for them in a lot of ways that I can understand is the price changes throughout the years. If you were a fan that was around, let's say, even for the Michael Bay movies, let's say you started collecting Transformers in 2007, you saw the huge price increases over the last, I mean, it's crazy when you think about 16 years for the Michael Bay movies. Um, Man, time flies. Isn't that crazy? But it's something where, time just passes and they saw the price increases throughout the years and how figures have, deluxe used to be a suggestion of a size. Now deluxe is a suggestion of a price point where deluxes have shrunk, Voyagers have shrunk, leader classes have shrunk, plastic quality has changed throughout the years, factories have changed, copyright, packaging has changed, especially packaging has changed a lot just from an environmental and price saving standpoint. And I could understand their frustration across all of those different things if you lived just even as far as the 2007 movie onward and seeing how much has changed from then. If you're someone like me that started with the 86 movie, didn't really engage as a hardcore fan back then because I was too young, and 99% of product by the time it got to me was ripped out of the package and thrown out. So I was only really appreciating, those handful of Micromasters, and stuff like that as a kid and Blaster. And of course, an Optimus Prime trailer that I got from a thrift sale. But, back then, it was humble beginnings, as I like to say, for the hobby. Uh, but as I became a hardcore fan, more so during that early internet era in 96, 97, because of Beast Wars, or started in early 95, but really 96, I'd have to say, was when the ball really started rolling. Um, that's when I started paying attention. And I have, carded Beast Wars toys from back in the day that still have their old stickers on it. 14.99 deluxes. That's Canadian too, so it was $10 back then for the States for deluxes. And seeing the crazy inflation from 1996 to 2003 and how deluxes have doubled in price and things have changed to alleviate the cost. but cost of living hasn't doubled or tripled in price. I did a segment. It was quite a controversial segment. I did it about 3 years ago. And I remember a lot of people attacked me over it because there's a lot of people that are very like, pro corporate, which is good luck with you there. Um, and I talked about the value of product and how a lot of things have changed and stocks are always an issue and those are always a driving force of decision making, not so much the customer. And you get to a point where you end up questioning how much money you're spending on the hobby because of how it's priced yourself out. Especially if you're someone who has been collecting for years, you're at your job, and for simple math, let's say you made $15 an hour back in 2015. And we're almost 10 years later, we're almost at 2025, but 10 years later, prices of transformers have gone up $7, $8 a unit, sometimes $3 for smaller stuff, and then it gets bigger as you go higher up on the food chain. But your raises at your job might not have went up all that time, which is why I always encourage people to always fight for what they're worth and always ask their boss every year. Even if you get a raise of 50 cents to a dollar, it makes a big difference in the long run because we're not even having the conversation of groceries and gas and everything else. And yes, I say gas with a Z. I'm French. I say gas with a Z, not with an S. Gas. People always point that out. But, always fight for what you're worth. Every year, go to your boss. And what's the worst that could happen? He'll say no. But if he says yes, trust me, you're going to be grateful for it, even if it's 50 cents more an hour. It adds up. And when you go to get that, carton of 2% milk, and that's up a dollar. When you go to get, you know, I don't know, that frozen pizza, and that's up $2. And when you go to get broccoli, and that's up 50 cents. And when you go to get carrots, and that's up a dollar. And you go to get bananas, and that's up 50 cents. And then you go to checkout, which is a self checkout because now companies don't even want to hire employees anymore. So you go to the self checkout and you check out, and all of a sudden the groceries that you've been buying for years that have always been $80 and now $120, you'll be happy that you asked that for that extra 50 cents raise. Because I'll tell you this right now, your boss is never going to give you a raise unless you ask for it. It's his job as a boss to make sure that you make the most money with the least amount of pay. To quote the great Scott Hall, who is no longer with us, Razor Ramon, he went to Vince McMahon and he said to him, "Hey, boss, is there a way that I could make some more money?" He's like, and Vince McMahon said to him, "No, Razor, like I pay you the same that I pay Undertaker and Brett and Shawn." And then he looked at his paycheck for his merchandise, action figures, t-shirts, and he said, if you just move that decimal point one more to the left, the Vince McMahon family might not feel it, but the Scott Hall family will definitely feel it. And what he was implying was, bosses will never give you a raise unless you ask for it. So you got to fight for it, guys. You got to fight for it. And again, those are the things, to go back to Jesus's Prime's questions, those are the things that I like to talk about that people don't talk about that are very important, is that we have a very expensive hobby. Very expensive hobby. I look at, I partake in the Magic the Gathering world, the video game world. Like I literally just, I got some amiibos recently in the mail that I also collect, like the amiibo Sephiroth and Tekken one just came out. I'm part of a lot of different hobbies. And sometimes nothing is more expensive than Transformers. Like I no joke, the Transformer hobby is ridiculously expensive if you're someone that likes to engage with a lot of the product. Yeah, you're skipping out on Cyberverse, or you're skipping out on bots, but even if you're someone who's just focused on that legacy, masterpiece thing, and God forbid you're also buying third party. I don't even really partake in third party unless it's really something unique. And it's an expensive hobby. And because it's an expensive hobby, you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself, and you got to make sure you got the money to take care of yourself. You know, that one winged angel. You know what I'm talking about. Shout out to Pulse Dragon for hooking me up, one of my local Montreal guys. That always hooks me up with my amiibos. He's the guy who's up at 3 a.m. in the morning when those pre-orders drop. Anyone who goes to a Montreal convention here knows exactly who Pulse Dragon is. He always has a huge booth at every big convention. But yeah, um, just take care of yourselves. That's the most important thing, because it's like I said at the beginning, money is finite. You only have so much money. You only have so much. And I know this shoots in the face of me saying, "Hey, hit that super chat button and, send me money and I'll answer questions," but I'd rather be honest with you. Take care of yourselves. If you have the money and you're willing to do it, that's fine, but if you don't, hold it back, man. Hold it back. I don't want people spending money they don't have. That's the worst thing you could ever do to yourself. And, so many people have marital problems and divorce over money. They get into fights over money. What's up, Larry? It's one of these things that if you could avoid that one problem, it does it all the better. Money won't solve all your problems, but it sure as hell keeps some of those problems away. you know, it's like it's like being healthy. It won't prevent all of the diseases, but it'll definitely prevent a good amount of them. You know, Abraham, it's worse when you also want to get anime super robots. Well, that's why I can't have everything in the world. People always ask me like, oh, you like Marvel Legends, which ones do you collect? I'm like, I can't. I buy once in a while the odd Marvel Legend, but if I bought everything I wanted, I'd be broke. I love Star Wars. I literally buy nothing of Star Wars because I would be broke if I started collecting Star Wars stuff. Like sometimes I sit around and go like, I want to own all the droids figures from the old droids cartoon. And it's like, no, I'm gonna go broke and be spending hundreds of dollars. So it's and Jedi Knight Luke figures and everything. I got like this awesome Medicom 12-inch Luke figure, Jedi Knight Luke, and I'm happy. I get the odd Black Series here and there of Jedi Knight Luke, and I can go on with my life. Because if you try to collect it all, it's number one, space is an issue. You only have so much space. Luckily, I have a big house, so I'm safe there. That was something I planned years in advance, where it's like I have a big house, so I have the space. But money is finite, so there's only so much money that you could spend, and only so much. Like you mentioned, super robots, Abraham. I mean, I'd love to get like Soul of Chikokin stuff. I'd love to get a Soul of Chikokin Daimos, but I'm not spending $400. you know, not spending $400. Lizard Sphere X, please pop a proto. Tell us the once more of your friend that bought everything. Tell us once more of your friend that bought everything. Well, what do you mean by bought everything? You're talking about completists, or are you talking about the amiibo? Yeah, well, Pulse Dragon is Mr. Scalper when it comes to amiibos. Him and Azusa are both cut from the same marketing cloth of making money. What is Larry saying here? I'll answer Larry's thing because Larry's part of my Montreal crew. Larry, not in the new true price at 50 for 6-inch toys. Oh God. See, that's why I can't. I can't engage with that stuff. Like I picked up on clearance. It's not in the packaging here. So this is the Multiverse Todd McFarlane. People probably saw my post on Instagram and know who I got here, but it was the animated Flash from the Justice League. I love that Wally West Flash. But when it was brand new, I was not going to pay $40 for it. No way. $40 for a 6-inch figure, and it's the Flash. It's not like he has accessories. He has a little lightning bolt for his foot and like a pair of interchangeable hands that he'll never use because Flash is never holding guns or anything or swords. You have him doing this, you know? And I just skipped out on it. And I think it was Entertainment Earth. I apologize, EE, if I'm wrong, but I think it was Entertainment Earth that had it on sale and I bought it. And I think it was like $10. So like me, there's the prices of stuff are so crazy today, some of these things, that I want to engage with that product. I want to own this really nice, 6-inch multi-articulated Justice League Unlimited Flash, because I love Wally West. He's easily, without a doubt, my holy trinity of DC characters. It's Huntress, Nightwing, and Wally West Flash, And Huntress, it could be Helena Wayne or Helena Bertinelli. It could be either one. I love both Huntresses. Um, that's my holy trinity. And like, I love how Wally West was in the DC animated universe, the Paul Dini, Bruce Timm stuff. But I wasn't going to pay $40 for a 6-inch figure when, there's stuff in Transformers that are $40 that I'm skipping out on. Like it gets a little crazy. So I'm very picky and choosy with that kind of stuff. I really am. Where are we at here? Horned Owl. I have a small miniature of Safer Sephiroth and Bizarro Sephiroth on my Final Fantasy shelf. The only Sephiroth stuff I have outside of that amiibo that I got the original back in the day, 1997 Bandai figure. It's the old Bandai figures. I have all of those. I bought them back in the day. Shout out to Sci-Fi Anime that got that whole collection. I bought them all brand new back in the day. Tifa, Cloud, and Barrett, and what's his name there? Vincent, the Turk. Lord Soundwarp, right off of my head. Right, I'm off, head off to work in 6 hours, need some sleep. Take care, Lord Soundwarp. Get some good sleep, my friend. Get some good sleep. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of the podcast, is that this is a learning tree. I want people to sit under that learning tree and enjoy the fruits of that knowledge in order to make things better for you in this hobby. People create content, and sometimes content is just created to consume, and you don't really learn anything from it. Top tens, top 10. Here's my top 10 opinions of this. I do it once a year. I do it with Jaws D, and I get the fans involved with it too. It's a whole community thing when I do it. But I hate top tens. It's just it's fluff. Top 10 orange Transformers. Hot Rod. He has orange on him. I prefer to make content where, even if I'm talking about a box, if I'm talking about a t-shirt, there's more of that learning spin on it. Why are we talking about this t-shirt? Why are we talking about this box? What does it have to do with the business of Transformers? What does it have to do with us understanding those kind of things? You know, Horned Owl, check out the Final Fantasy Creatures figure line. I have quite a few of them. It's an awesome line. What is that? Is it like NPC characters? I just want a really good Final Fantasy figure of Locke from Final Fantasy VI, aka Final Fantasy III. They've never made like a really good one, but I also want it based off of his sprite design with the blue headband, not the full headband. So, but I don't know. They'll do that one day. They'll do it. Play Arts does all the Final Fantasy stuff. One day they'll do one, and it'll be like $400, and I'll end up not buying it. They did a nice Tifa and Cloud recently, and I was like, oh my god, $300. Forget it. We live in a different world now when it comes to those prices. But it's, to me, I just want people to just be smart with it and learn about it. I mean, that's why I love doing the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer, because it's that whole other side too that I can't 100% explain. I could only explain within the knowledge that and limitations of knowledge that I have. But then Aaron, who has his wealth of information of 30 to 30 plus years in the industry, and the stories and the life experiences of being in Kenner in Cincinnati and Hasbro in Rhode Island, that only an Aaron Archer would know, you know? Mayoral Fabrication with the $5 super chat. I believe I got in a point where I'm collecting more for the thrill of the hunt deals than the items themselves. Well, that's where you should always look for the deals, you know? If the Hasbro Pulse sale that they did a couple months ago should have taught us anything, is that there's always big sales. There's always opportunity. Anyone who have went all in on Rodimus, the Jurassic Park crossover, the X-Men crossover, the Ark. What am I forgetting? What else went on sale? The Black Zarek, the recent Metroplex Legacy. What's up, David? How you doing, brother? Um, I love David Cabal. I just love that guy. It's something where it showed us that you could save so much money. You could save so much money if you just wait a little bit. I mean, I don't want to plug my Patreon, but like when you're part of my Patreon, you're part of my Discord. And if you're part of my Discord, we have a whole section of the Discord just dedicated to sales. Just dedicated to, hey guys, don't buy something at Walmart this week. It's on sale here for like 50% the price. Like, I'll give you one for free right now. All the Cyberverse stuff on Big Bad Toy Store is 50% off right now. Here's a free one. You know, it's absolutely crazy how much sales are happening every week. And so my Discord has a section where we obsess over putting it all in one place so we know week to week what's on sale so you don't make bad decisions with your money. Because you don't have to pay $24.99 for a Voyager when it's 21 or 14 or sometimes on clearance at 10 at Ollie's or whatever. There's always opportunities. David Cabal says, "Fine, we get a chance to listen to that Total Justice episode." That's awesome, brother. Aaron actually showed some cool Total Justice stuff. He showed a wax model of Total Justice Batman in his live stream yesterday. So if you want some extra Total Justice stuff, it's not completely Total Justice. There's other Batman stuff there too. Watch his live stream that he did yesterday. I actually put it. I edited the thumbnail yesterday, and I put the Total Justice wax, peach wax prototype of Batman. I love that Batman. Love that Batman. Total Justice Batman. Horned Owl, they are small, about 2 inches, and well painted figures. The Sapphire Weapon, Ruby Weapon, Diamond Weapon, and various Bahamut figures. Doom Train. Oh, and Shiva. Okay, okay. Now I know what it is. Ah, those are probably cool. I'm gonna go look those up after. I'm surprised I didn't know about those. There's only so many things you can keep track of. I try to keep track of all the Mario figures. I've been kind of on top of that. My recent thing, I've been buying the Super Mario movie McDonald's toys. They've been coming out slowly, so I've been picking those up recently. Maybe I'll do a photo shoot of those and put those on Instagram. I like the little Donkey Kong I got with his barrel and his arm and everything. Um, some are 3 inches tall. Tom Laney says, "I got Velocitron Blur. I thought it was just a repaint. Nope, it's actually a retool. Also got my opinion better looking than the Studio Series 86 one. No, it uses the Shattered Glass one. Uses that mold. Good pickup, my friend. Blur is awesome." Michael Koo, Big Bad Toy Store clearance is dangerous, especially with the Marvel Masterworks. You would know more than anyone, Michael, especially. You always keep track of all those BBTS stuff. And then Michael says to David, okay, he's talking to David about the Total Justice. Eastman777 with the super chat for 5 bones. Eastman77 says, "You are the man." Well, thank you, Eastman777. You're like a slot machine. And you want to get the sevens. Is there a site that tracks the latest official G1 reissues? For example, what was the latest official reissue Bruticus or Predaking? Bruticus reissue was a Japanese one. I think it was the Takara box set they did for the Encore. And Predaking was also a Encore from Japan, and it was a box set. I don't remember the year offhand. I remember it had different art than the G1 art on it. And I know that we had a Predaking reissue here in America, and it was a year of the one, and it came with an extra sword, which was a repaint of a Transformers Prime Optimus Prime sword that was given as an extra accessory. I know I have that one. You can barely see it. I have it in the corner because anytime there's something that's different, I buy it. If it's a reissue that's a straight up reissue and there's no changes, I don't pick it up unless the box art's nice or something. Um, but yeah, TF Wiki, by the way, T-Fan, I just want to say I don't want to insult the wiki, but there's a lot of information on there that's incorrect. There's a lot of years that are incorrect and stuff, and you have to be careful with that, especially with new product, because a lot of times it takes them a while before you get proper updates on the new product and stuff. so you don't usually get the information straight. So you have to be careful with that. I find that when it comes to Transformer toys, tfu.info, ran by Antoine, has a much more, I guess, accurate lineage and linkage. And Unicron.com is another one too. I find that they're a lot more accurate for toy information than the TF Wiki. TF Wiki is kind of a mess with the toys. A lot of the information that's there, designer information, I don't know where they're getting their information from. A lot of it is incorrect. And I'm not going to edit it because not my job. TF Wiki is a for-profit website. So not my job to do. I'll educate you here. I'm not going to educate you guys there and give money to certain individuals, you know. Michael Koo with the gold super chat for $10. Who is your favorite revealed Rise of the Beast figure so far? That's a tough one. From what I've seen, I can't say. From what you guys have seen, I really like that Cheetor. Cargo pants Cheetor, as people call it. The RC is nice too for a core class. I like that Cheetor, has the cool gun. I'll go with Cheetor for now, but there's more stuff coming that's gonna blow your socks off. So stay tuned for that within the next 2 weeks or so. Trust me. But I'll go with the Cheetor for now that you guys already saw that leaked out. David Cabal was a Toy Biz X-Men guy and mostly 90s G.I. Joe. So he liked his neon color G.I. Joes and his Street Fighter G.I. Joes, which had a lot of neon colors on the sprues of the weapons. Some of my first, my first Joe figures were mid 80s Joes and Bazooka and Dusty and stuff like that. But some of my first 90s Joes were all the Street Fighter ones. When Street Fighter's first toys were G.I. Joe related, I got as many as I could. I got the 12-inch ones, the dolls, and the 3-inch ones. My sister picked up Chung Li. My sister picked up the Beast Blaster, which came with Champion Edition Chung Li. Good stuff. David Cabal says here, Proto, you got to show off your video game collection. Well, David, one day, and I talked about this with the guys at Symbiote Studios because they do video game stuff also with different licenses. One day we're going to be doing the live stream from the video game room. The only reason why we haven't done it yet because I did a test live stream and I didn't like the lighting. I didn't like the lighting in the room, and I'm gonna be buying some extra lighting in that room. And we're gonna do days where we're gonna be playing video games and doing the live stream and just hanging out. We'll play Transformer games. You'll get to see the background of my Mega. Well, usually probably in the angle of the shot, you'll see my Mega Man action figure collection. My video game collection is all around too, but because it has like lined up shelving, you won't be able to see it all in one shot. The good thing with my TF room is it's all kind of open. It's all on walls. Where the video game collection, it's all bookshelves. You know, I don't have to worry about glass cases and stuff that have to be custom made. So you just kind of line them up. And one day for sure, I'll show you guys my video game collection. I have a lot of cool stuff. The name Proto Man comes from Mega Man. You know, like it literally, like I stare at this guy looks at me every day, you know, every single day on my counter. You know, that's where it comes from. It comes from Mega Man and the video game world. I'm a big, you know, like if you want to talk about what I got this week outside of Transformers, it's Mario stuff, Mario action figures and things like that. I picked up the shout out to again Pulse Dragon. He picked up the yellow shy guy for me. You know, been trying to track him down for a while. But yeah, yeah. Love it. One day I'll do it for sure. I want to do a segment from the video game room. I want to do a segment from the manga room. Manga room has terrible lighting, but I really want to go there one day and do recordings from there because there's so much cool non-Transformer stuff in there. So much cool non-Transformer stuff in there. You get to see all the Marvel, DC, Ninja Turtles, obscure 80s and 90s toy lines, all in glass cases, but just it doesn't have the crazy light. Like the lighting is so nice here because every single one of my glass displays have lighting beating down on me. I have the actual lighting above me too. So the lighting in this room is amazing. It's most people, they have like that halo lighting when they do their live streams. I don't have any of that. I don't need it because the lighting in this room is so intense that it's not necessary. But my gaming room, it's like I just have the one light above. It's a video game room. I never intended to do streaming or anything in there, but it is something I've been looking into for the future. Uh, where are we at here? Wizards for X. I hope they give a big Rise of the Beast Air figure a buzzworthy reissue with her Beast Wars Transmetal colors. I would love Transmetal Air her manga depiction made into an action figure, but that's just me who likes waifus, so that'd be pretty cool. Wizards Fair X, even if it's in a 4-pack. We're going to be getting another 4-pack in the future, so stay tuned for that. What's in that 4-pack? We don't know. But we do have another multi-pack coming. Media Max, Proto Mang, after all the mini masterpieces we've got, what can we expect from the future G1 characters in mainline? Well, I always feel that I kind of look at it this way. Generation 1 back in 84 to 91 gave us the best that we could of those characters within the limitations of the engineering and I guess design intelligence that was available between that era, giving you the best Optimus Prime transformable figure you could give within the technology between 84 and 91. G2 just kind of regressed, didn't really try that hard. Yeah, we got Laser Optimus in the end, which was pretty awesome and stuff, but when they hit that wall, then you got to reinvent. And I think that after you get all those mini masterpieces, I think that sooner or later they're either going to have to do the obscure characters, which is definitely an Evan and Mark kind of thing. They really like doing the obscure characters, or they're going to reinvent. Make a new Optimus, make like a new design, again, that Aaron Archer era where, you had a good, like from 2001 to 2006, three different uniquely designed Optimus designs that became a part of pop culture: the Armada one, the Energon one, and the Cybertron one. And two of those three are going to be updated for the modern era. We already got the Cybertron Galaxy Force version updated for the modern era. We're probably going to be getting that Armada one at some point as a commander class. So it's just a matter of time before they're going to have to reinvent, make new designs. You can't just do Cyberverse and it looks like G1 all over again. You got to make new designs, new silhouettes, and create a new audience. The movie stuff was shaking it up. So many people are like, oh, why did they make it not look like G1? Well, they made a whole bunch of designs that were unique to themselves, and they were able to sell product of those unique designs for decades, for 2 decades. Think of like how many movie sideswipe figures got sold between the original deluxe, a premium finish, smaller legend scales, all the repaints of those scales, a Human Alliance version, masterpiece, studio series. Or they could have just copied the original Generation 1 Sideswipe and would have not been able to milk it as much. Because then why would they do that and then do a Kingdom version or a Generations version if they're so similar? You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. We got super chat from Joseph Ritter for 5 bones. How you doing, Joseph? How you doing, Joe? Would you say that the Technobots were the last traditional combiner from G1, or am I missing a few? Nice seat and a seat should go to TFCon. Um, no, they weren't the last traditional. If you're referring to Scramble City combiners, which is that peg head traditional combiner, no, afterwards we had, technically you want it with the next one would then be the Seacons, which came the year after that, which had that traditional peg head Scramble City design. And then the last kind of combiners, you can barely see them under my hand here, of a Monstructor, which didn't have the Scramble City design, but he is a traditional combiner, I guess, of boom boom, and then afterwards, I mean, I wouldn't call Lio Kaiser a traditional combiner because they're kind of unique, and Road Caesar is kind of unique, and the six combiners from the Micromasters are kind of unique. I mean, if the concept of traditional combiner is like what the Scramble City guys did, for people who aren't familiar with what Scramble City is, it's the peg heads of Defensor, Menasor, Bruticus, the aerial bots with Superion, and then of course later on with Computron and Abominus, and I could go on and on. Predaking obviously goes outside of that, but I'd have to. There's plenty more after the Technobots for sure, both in the United States and in Japan for sure. For sure. How much time we got left? We got 15 minutes left. We're already almost done. Jeez. Time flies when you're having fun. And Andesite should be at TFCon. Well, Andesite is located in South Korea, and their factory, if I remember correctly, is based out of Vietnam and China, depending on which parts are of the assembly are, like the magnet stuff and everything. I like the magnets. Magnets are cool. Um, but I don't, I don't think they're going to be at TFCon. I know that Symbiote Studios is going to have the biggest, most awesome booth there for sure, probably. So that'll be probably the booth to go to get all the cool swag. Get yourself some t-shirts and some pins and some plush. Maybe a certain someone will be at that booth all weekend. We shall see. Don't want to blow the load just yet. Abraham, we need a Studio Series 86 Shockwave. Well, the problem with a Studio Series 86 Shockwave is them having to make them turn into a gun. I think the Siege version did a pretty good job of circumventing that by including all those extra pieces and the boat mode and everything. Um, until they figure out a way to somehow be able to put out a product that turns into a laser gun without somehow sacrificing that. I mean, look, we got just recently, I already put it away, but we got just recently that Core Class Shockwave. I did a video, I did a photo of it on my Instagram and my Twitter, and you saw like they still, oh, we're gonna make him a spaceship. He looks like a gun, but he's still a spaceship. So they're gonna have to do stuff like that. They're always gonna have to like go on that tightrope of how much they could do, especially again if you're talking a Studio Series 86 Shockwave. Now you're talking something that's Voyager class or leader, so it's going to be something that's big and handheld. You're not even talking a small little core class that you can maybe get away with it being a gun, you know? See, everyone's saying more submarine mode. But the whole point of Studio Series 86 is accuracy. So no one's going to want to have to pay that extra pieces for a submarine mode. Everyone's going to be paying extra to then keep it without those submarine pieces, like what happened with the Siege one. Uh, what do you say? Ron Diaz says we need a Studio Series Slug. Bayverse, my mistake. I must have missed something. I must have missed something there. Abraham, what's the extra pieces? How about extra pieces that turn into the Revenge? Yeah, they could do something clever. They could totally do something clever that turns into the Revenge. Revenge being the ship that came uh, from Unicron. I'm looking over because I'm looking at my Siege one, and the way I have my Siege one displayed is I literally have it just without the extra pieces, and then that ship that you could assemble, or that like I guess you could call it a I don't know, space board or whatever. I have it like put on the side because I just kind of like the Shockwave without it. And Shockwave is one of my favorite Decepticons of all time, so I always associate him with that. I mean, if you want the best Shockwave ever, just get the Masterpiece. Like that Masterpiece Shockwave is that thing's amazing. I actually did a toy review of that. That's how much I loved that one. It's on my old Proto Retro channel. You could go check it out. Michael Koo with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Michael Koo, for the $5 super chat. Always good to see you, Michael. In Transformers Victory, the Transformers have extended chins. Is there any history to why that's done? Transformers Victory aesthetically was designed by Kunio Okiwara. I apologize if I mispronounce his name. He had a huge Gundam background, and that's why Star Saber, I don't know which one to point at, the HasLab or the original, but Star Saber had a very Gundam double Zeta kind of look to it. If you look at the double Zeta Gundam, big, beefy, even the way the face sculpt is and everything, and the mask and stuff, he has a lot of inspiration from that. And if you Kunio did a lot of Gundam stuff before Transformers Victory and after Transformers Victory did a lot of Gundam stuff. So it's really just the influence of him doing Transformers. And you have to understand something too. If you look at the Takara 3, Headmasters was still grounded in stuff that we were getting. It wasn't an exclusive Japanese series. Master Force, as much as we love Master Force, those Pretender shells, the Seacons, all of those are still toys that we got on both sides of the globe. Victory was a Japanese exclusive line, and it has a very Japanese flavor to it. And I always say, in a lot of ways, it was the prototype that would be the Brave stuff later. And of course, Gal Geiger and a lot of the Japanese exclusive stuff we have today. A lot of it really started a little bit with Master Force. Master Force, I like the feel was like the skeleton of it, and then Victory really was the final product of what would be like the Brave formula. Like Master Force walked so Victory could run with it. It's kind of the best way to put it, because Master Force still had the hiccups of still that Western kind of style. Obviously, the concept of getting a upgrade halfway through the show in God Bomber, and then in the case of Victory with Victory Leo, that started again with Master Force, but you would see it afterwards with Car Robots, with Armada, with Energon, with Cybertron. Again, the Japanese versions of those, and all the other Japanese series that happen in between with the Brave series, whether it be X Kaiser, Firebird. I mean, I'm just guys are making me do this off the top of my head here. Jay Decker, Goldren. Oh my God, why am I forgetting them? Right, and of course, Gal Geiger falls into that too. I'm forgetting good ones also. Daigarn, Daigarn. What's the train one? Oh my God, it's one of the best ones too. Oh my God. Anyways, you guys are gonna say it in the chat. When I have to spout all this information off the top of my head, sometimes things get lost. Abraham Perez, maybe pieces that could form a throne on their own. Dagwan, that's another one too. That's the human one. Dagwan. What's the train one? Why am I forgetting that one? Has such a good intro. Might Gain. It's Might Gain is the train one. No one posts theirs. See, now someone posts Might Gain. Might to Gain. Love that intro for Might Gain. Oh my God. Brave stuff is amazing. All my Brave stuff's here. You can't see it, but it's all under my web diver stuff. I love oh my God, Might Gain. Who can I forget Might Gain? Anyways, but the point is that, like, that formula was created with that stuff. So Victory, Victory was one of those first very Japanesey, for lack of better words, a very Japanesey kind of style, you know. Um, but yeah, the one with G1 Diatlas and Sonic Bomber as mech villains, that would be Might Gain, if I remember correctly. And then you have also in Dagwan was what's his name? It was Doug Base was its name. It was man, I'm tired today. I'm not remembering anything. It's like, you have his figure, Proto. What is wrong with you? Grandis. There we go. Grandis. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. I always feel like the human brain is like a hard drive, and I only have so much space that I could fit in there of information. I'm running out of space after all these years. Oh man. Oh, we got 7 minutes left too. Damn. That sucks. Grandis Galaxy Shuttle. There's more too. Because even in X Kaiser, you have the Dinobots in a kind of retooled kind of style, and they combine unofficially. The Dino Geysers in X Kaiser. Good stuff. Tom Laney, thanks for a great show. Proto, as always, have a great weekend. Thank you, Tom Laney, for joining us. Thank you for joining us on the live stream and being a Green Chat supporter of the YouTube membership. Again, if you want to help support the podcast, and if you enjoy what we do, we topped out at like 150 people. Now it's the tail end of the podcast. We're down to 105 now. Yeah, Shadow Maru is another one. True. There's all the all the six changers. But if you want to support the podcast and you like what we do, again, Patreon or YouTube membership, those are the two best ways to support us. Let us know that we're doing a half decent job. It's always the best way, you know, always the best way. We try our best. We try our best to give you guys, every week 2 hours, keeping you guys entertained for 2 hours alone. I don't know how I do it, but I do it every week. I do it every week. There's always something to talk about. There's always some fun to do. There's always some cool stuff in the Transformer world. Where is Starscream? We'll take a nice product shot with Starscream for the thumbnail. There we go. I always have to have a nice thumbnail or something, even though it's a very kind of figure. Uh, you know what's funny? Trans fan, like I have a lot of those figures, and I've never done. See, I'm not big on doing YouTube reviews anymore. I feel it's not worth the time. I used to do really extensive YouTube reviews. Like again, if you look at Masterpiece Shockwave that I did so many years ago, and it got like 2,000 views, and I was just like, really? Like all that time and energy to talk about the history of Shockwave, and then I'll do a YouTube segment here on the podcast talking about T-shirts, and I'll get 2,000 views. So the YouTube review game is not really worth the time and the energy. I rather just do a live stream and just talk about that stuff here and just hold the figures. One day in the future, I'll get a second webcam, and we'll have like a second webcam, and I'll bring toys on, and we could talk about toys and everything. Like just like now, how like I'll just be like, hey, let's just open up this guy and check it out. And I'm definitely gonna leave this toy head on him. Definitely gonna leave the toy head. Looks nicer on him than the show accurate head with the smirk. Abraham Gal Geiger is getting a new Blu-ray release. Yep, it's getting a new Blu-ray release. I bought the original DVD versions, the one where half of it was dubbed and the other half wasn't. And they never made the final, like Gal Geiger final Blu-ray release or DVD release. So I hope that after they do the Blu-ray of the regular series, I hope we get Gal Geiger final in Blu-ray, because we never had an official anything release of Gal Geiger final, and I love Gal Geiger final. I think it's one of the greatest mecha anythings of all time. It's like Macross, Do You Remember Love, Gunbuster, Gal Geiger final. Gundam 0083 is up there with me too. Like I know some people are like 0083, really? Like not original UC Century 0079? No, man. Like 0083 is up there. Like there's some really good mecha stuff out there, and Gal Geiger is on that list, you know. And Final specifically, because Final was the OVAs, which had a lot more budget, a lot more hot-blooded action. I know I'm forgetting stuff, Mazen Kaiser, that's another one that's really good if you're a modern mecha fan. The Getter stuff. I mean, I could go on and on. Steel Jeeg, the new one. Koshin Jeeg, the new Steel Jeeg was really good too with the Stormbringer intro. Like, there's a lot. I'm forgetting more than I remember. Trust me. Trust me. You'll probably suggest something that I watched and absolutely loved that I'm probably forgetting. When there's so much of it out there, it's kind of hard to sift through all the garbage. There's a lot of garbage too, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, you know, uh, just think about what to say in closing today, because we only got 2 minutes left. Let me just see, because we have 2 weeks left until the end of the month, and there's going to be some cool stuff. Battle Hackers, Machine Robo Battle Hackers. That's another one. Love that intro. Love that intro. Battle Hackers intro. Great toys too. I hope they do updates of those ones through Action Toys. Fantastic stuff. Gunbuster got dubbed recently, and you know what? No offense to the dubbers, but nothing beats that original Japanese. How do you have Super Azuma Kick done in English? You gotta have Super Azuma Kick. Like you have to have that Japanese yelling. Any anime that screaming and yelling is 50% of its awesomeness, you got to watch the Japanese version. I mean, I love Dragon Ball, and the Dragon Ball dub is not bad, but I need a Goku and a Gohan that's screaming from their Japanese voice actor, you know? Their original. I need an old Japanese lady screaming Goku, and Gohan. Yeah, Gunbuster is amazing. Gunbusters, I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Jason. Gunbuster is, You could watch it for free pretty much on a lot of different places. Um, Gunbuster is one of those extremely influential anime that not a lot of people talk about, unfortunately. Like at number one, it was like, fan service didn't really exist before that. And I think that's part of the reason why it gets pushed down a lot because it's like, oh no, boobies, no, no. But it's like, it had a lot of boobies in it, but it was very influential. I mean, if you watch Gunbuster and then you go and you watch Evangelion or Gurren Lagann, like you're going to learn right away where all that stuff came from Anno, you know? It's fantastic. Always take the time to watch Gunbuster if you can. The sequels is Sequel's not as good, but the original is fantastic. Sequel is a classic example of something does very well and then decades later they try to, you know, strike lightning twice and it just doesn't happen. And they just make toys and everything. Um Someone asked who said I speak what's the word I'm looking for? I speak functional Japanese, meaning if someone speaks Japanese to me, I understand more or less what they're saying and I could respond in, I like to call it baby language. Like if a Japanese person was listening to what I was saying to them, it would be like a baby talking to them. So I have functional Japanese uh, from many, many years of watching. And this is the secret to learning a language is watching it without subtitles. Um, but yeah, I've been watching Japanese anime without subtitles since, geez, 94, 95. And, when you're obsessed with this hobby, it doesn't hurt to learn the language, you know? When you already speak French, English, and two European languages, you know, it's doesn't hurt to know another one. Maybe that's what also kind of screws up my brain when you have so many different languages in your head. It screws with some of my dialect of stuff. Sometimes people hear certain words I say, kind of gets messed up a little bit. I apologize for that. But we're a very diverse and interesting world of people. Anyways, guys, we're going to call it quits tonight. We are past the 2 hour mark for the live stream. Thank you, everyone, for coming by and watching. Once again, if you want to support the podcast, Patreon link is down there. If it's not down there, it'll be down there in the replay. Otherwise, if you don't like Patreon, there's the join button for a YouTube membership. That's what all our beautiful green names are on the side. That we're asking a whole bunch of questions along with the super chat people. So thanks again to all the super chat people who also helped with the pod today. Thank you, everyone. Thanks to Mr. M who sent me another Funko to ruin my life. Thanks again to my sponsors, Symbiote Studios, who are always awesome. That we're going to be doing some business in the next couple of months. Hasbro Pulse and everything. We're going to be doing some business very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. Don't be surprised if you see this mug or hear about this mug in the near future with Hasbro Pulse. And of course, Anda Seats. Yo, 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 yo. Thank you for keeping our spine straight in the Transformer world. Again, thanks for everything, guys. Thanks for the love and support. And like I always say, take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of everyone around you. The world's not as crazy as you think it is. There's a lot of negativity in the world. There's a lot of stupidity in the world. There's a lot of separation in the world. But all of that politics and all that stupidness doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. At the end of the day, they are all your fellow men and women, and you all need to take care of each other. As a Canadian that watches from the outside looking in, it is stupid stuff. And that's why I don't get angry about those stupid things. And that's why you should take care of yourselves and just be happy. Don't read all the stupidity on social media. Go out for a walk and enjoy yourself. Tomorrow is Sunday. It's my day off. Have it be your day off too. Take care of yourselves. I love you all. I'm out of here. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you later. Roll out.